right? 2001, September 11th, 2001. I don't mean to age you, Reese, but just so that I can have some perspective. Were you born on September 11th, 2001?
I was born before that, but it's weird because I do remember it. I think I was really kindergarten, but
Hmm.
I could tell that the world, something had happened because everybody around me, including my parents, there was a bunch of people like crying, talking on the phone, a bunch of people watching the news, the TV. I remember even getting pulled out of school. I remember they had a memorial service, and there was a bunch of people. My parents were just saying, "We have to go there. We have to pray." There's something that really happened that's bad. And as a kid, I understood all that. I was only in kindergarten, but you could just tell like something grave has really happened to the nation because the fact that you got pulled out of school and then it was all over in the TV. So I think I was like kindergarten at that time, but I still remember that. Like I think about it and I really remember being in a crowd holding a candle.
Hmm.
It's crazy. So
So,
that's
do
where I'm
you,
at with
do
that.
you remember being anxious and afraid? What were you
I
thinking?
think as a kid, I remember being confused. Like I said, I knew something had happened, but I didn't know what was happening. Like I was just confused. Like why are we all here? Why are people sad? Like I could tell something had happened. I just didn't know what. Like my parents didn't really tell me. Like they didn't say two planes crashed into the twin towers. They just said something really bad had happened in the states right now, and so we're here to pray. That's all I really kind of remember. But I do remember being like just confused, like understanding something bad happened, but not knowing what it was. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
of
And I'm
course.
going to reflect on how I remembered the attacks in 2001, but I'm going to invite Joe to also reflect on that before we go any further. In 2001, September 11th, do you recall that day clearly?
Yeah, I do definitely, and it's vivid because it was late at night
Mm.
on probably around 10 o'clock. I was packing,
Hmm.
and the next day I was gonna board a plane to go on vacation in Florida,
Mm.
and then I was watching TV and then saw. I mean, every channel had the events, and I thought maybe this is a program or a movie that I
Mm.
didn't switch to. So when I found out that it was serious, it was just tragic just to see what was happening, and then just our eyes were just glued to the TV ever since. And that was around what 11 o'clock at night our time,
Mm-hmm.
and just for the days after, it was just tragic. Just we could not believe. The next day I was wondering, oh, is my flight canceled? And
Mm.
what's the severity of this?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, this is not going to happen. And at the time, Northwest Airlines was on Guam, so I was gonna call up Northwest and find out,
Mm.
are we, affected by this or how that is going on. So I remember it was just tragic just to watch the events occur on TV those several days.
Yes. So if you're just tuning in, we are talking about how in a couple of days we are going to be thinking about Patriot Day and also the Peace Memorial that the Rotary Club of Guam has erected back in the early 2000s. We're going to get a little bit of history of that. But just a reminder for those who may not be entirely familiar with the events of 9/11 because many were born before the time. This was in September 11th, 2001, when the extremist group Al Qaeda carried out terrorist attacks in New York City, destroying the World Trade Center, causing severe damage to the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, and killing almost 3,000 people. So, Patriot Day is a day to remember those who died in the attacks, as well as to recognize the bravery and sacrifice of first responders, emergency professionals, and regular residents who risked their lives to assist others in the aftermath. And also, it's an opportunity to reflect on the tenacity of the American people and the solidarity that formed in the aftermath of the catastrophe. So, Joe, when you saw the events unfold, you didn't quite understand the magnitude of
Yeah.
that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. All I saw was what was happening on the screen, what was displayed on CNN, right? And it was not until days after that, we realized, okay, this is intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And in our ceremony when we plan for the event. It's a reef laying ceremony, and we have reefs that represent the different, elements of the tragic attacks. Of course, one of the reefs that we'll have is representing the Rotary Club and our commitment to peace. Then we have one that is dedicated to peace. Then there's another reef for the Twin Towers, and another one for Pentagon, and the last one for Pennsylvania. And that's what shows up on our Peace Memorial site over at Two Lovers Point is just these icons. You see the Twin Towers, and then the depiction of the Laddie Stone. And then on the granite floor, we have etches of the forests of Pennsylvania and the shape of Pentagon. So, it's a site to go to not only remember and pay tribute to the lives that were lost, because we know about survivors that live on Guam as well as, throughout the nation. And we wanted to really dedicate this Peace Memorial site to those who want to remember or seek peace.
Yes, and I have mentioned to you that I have seen the memorial from a distance, but not knowing it was actually made in a tribute to the men and women who lost their lives in the attacks of 9/11. And now that I know this, the next time I go there, I'm going to really take a closer look and to think about how the different elements reflect upon what took place on that day. As I think about my experience during 9/11 2001, you had mentioned that you got wind of this the night before. Mm-hmm. I did not know until the following morning.
Okay.
It was around 8:00, and I worked at Glimpses.
Okay.
Like here I am at Glimpses, the Glimpses office. We're here at the Wave. And back in 2001, I was working for the company when it was still located at the Century Plaza building in Tamuning. And I, had not tuned into the news in the morning. I just went straight from home to the office. And in the conference room, I see all my coworkers and my bosses glued to the TV. And I was thinking, this is very unusual. Why is everybody congregating around the conference room watching CNN?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, the first thing that I saw on TV were the planes crashing into the Twin Towers. Yeah. And in my mind, I was thinking, is this some kind of movie? Mm-hmm. Is this a movie scene that we're watching?
Yeah.
It was just so surreal. It was just something I couldn't grasp at first. It just was a complete shock. And then to see everybody, the folks and the bystanders that were running away and the clouds of debris, it was, very visual for me. And I still couldn't grasp that this was happening in real life. This was not a scene from a movie. And, as the day progressed, of course, now I started listening for news updates and just hearing people talking about it. It was a very scary time for me as a young father, and having two young kids, thinking about what the future would hold for the island. So even though we knew, we're here in Guam, we're not in the mainland, but still, how could these effects, now that we kind of are understanding the magnitude of them, how could it now trickle over to Guam, and what did that mean for us and our island? Do you recall the various alert levels that were issued at the time? There was like orange, red.
No, I don't.
You don't.
I guess I wasn't paying attention to that. More so just shocked.
Yeah. Reese, do you remember that? Like the different alert levels? I remember hearing, okay, it's orange level. Be careful when you go to the mall.
No.
Red. No. Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So that was something that kind of stuck out in my mind. I was probably in my late 20s, and I recall tuning in and making sure that before we went out to the malls or what have you, that the threat level wasn't at an orange and definitely not at a red. But it really changed the way life went on afterwards. And I had mentioned earlier about how this tragic event, from what I could see in the news coverage, pulled people together. So you had neighbors walking out into their neighborhoods, holding candles, holding vigils, holding group prayers, and you felt that everybody, regardless of what their ethnic backgrounds were, religious backgrounds, were coming together and praying for some kind of peace and divine intervention through all this uh, crazy and scary events that were taking place.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Joe? Here we are, 24 years later.
Right.
How has life changed from when before the events of 9/11 to now? We see that all the time when we travel. There are things that we didn't have to go through before with screenings and other things like that. Is there something in particular that stands out to you that is different now as a result of the attacks of 9/11 for you?
Yeah, for me, I see just much more security, much more attention paid to safety, to how the entire nation protects the U.S. And there's just so much going on everywhere you go. Of course, the most obvious one is when you go to the airport, and of course, 9/11 created TSA, and the security, the added level of security, and just how the military and all of its different parts of the armed forces were definitely a part of what happened, and then just the attack on terrorism to eliminate that, and how that has changed the landscape. And with our ceremony, we particularly want to provide an opportunity to our armed forces, because they were directly impacted by that. And not only are the ones who serve in the armed forces today, but then also the veterans and those retired and those that served in the different wars against this, that was of course prompted by 9/11. So we offer that, and we emphasize how this ceremony is really an opportunity to invite the armed forces to be a part of this, because there's a Rotary element to it, there is a armed forces element to it, there's also how we want to promote peace on Guam and everywhere else in the world. And it's just really this representation of how life changed back in 2001. I mean, it's 24 years later, and and we're still living the effects and the impact of it. And it's every day we look around, whether we go to New York, where there's a memorial, whether we go to different states, there is a monument that represents, or we go to the bases, or we just go to the airports, and we see signs of it that's present today.
And Joe, before we hone in on the ceremony that's taking place in a couple of days, I do want to make a distinction that when we talk about Patriot Day, so this is the solemn occasion in which we remember the events of 9/11, which is very different from Patriots Day with an S,
Right.
which is observed primarily in the state of Massachusetts on the third Monday in April.
Right.
And that commemorates the battles of Lexington and Concord, which took place on April 19th, 1775, and marked the beginning of the American Revolutionary War. So it's very easy to mix up Patriot Day with Patriots Day because of
Yeah.
that one
Right.
letter. But honing in on the ceremony itself, Joe, we understand that because of space limitations, this is not something that is going to be open to the public. We just want to make sure that the gathering can be hosted safely, right? So,
Right, yeah.
so based on that, there will be a limited number of guests. Those who were invited to the event will know about the details. But if you can just talk a little bit about more about when it'll take place and what time, and what can those who were invited to the event expect.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate you mentioning that. And, the Rotary Club of Northern Guam, we have a club membership, about 23 members. And we hold this ceremony every year for about, I think, 10, 11 years now. And we're located, of course, the Peace Memorial is located over at Two Lovers Point. And so the Club of 22 help organize the event, and that includes setting up the venue with canopies and chairs. So we're able to get the support from the mayor of Dedido, mayor of Tumuning, the mayor of Barragata, to provide canopies and chairs. And then also Two Lovers Points is just a tremendous help to provide support for the Peace Memorial and help us out with canopies. So when we plan for the event every year, of course, it's always going to be on 9/11, and no matter what day that falls on, it's a ceremony that we plan for, and we could we could safely accommodate about 100 people, and the 100 people that we invite is representation of the significance of 9/11. Of course, we invite the dignitaries, the governor, lieutenant governor, so on and so forth. We invite the leadership of the military, the armed forces, and of course the legislature and the mayors. We definitely want to look at planning to invite more veterans to attend, but the challenge that we have is how do we coordinate the logistics to accommodate. There's several years where it's torrential rains, and then there's hot sun that we have, so we want to be able to have the canopies all set up. But aside from the logistics of that, we definitely want to look, maybe even plan for the 25th anniversary to open it up to the public. Perhaps we can get or other clubs, other organizations to assist us so that we can accommodate more people. And it's a really, I really look forward to it because it's an event, a wreath laying event that we are able to gather the leadership, whether it's the government or the military leadership. And then we have beautiful wreaths that we have. Thanks very much to Heaven Sent for that every year that we lay in commemoration of the event. This opportunity has so many different elements that has grown over the years. Northern Guamatarians are just so proud of how we have turned our Peace Memorial into something that started back in 2000 as just a peace monument. And we feel that based on the tragic events that we turned it into, also a portion for 9/11, right, to commemorate that. And for every year when we organize and we plan, we always want to expand and we always want to grow the program. And there's only so much that we can do. But the beautiful part of it is how each of the different representatives. I have representatives of each of the different, whether it be the armed forces or the first responders like the Guam Fire Department and the airport fire, the Joint Region Fire. They all get together. Other leadership will present wreaths, and it's a very solemn occasion. And I really, really look forward to it every year because it's how our Rotarians will get together with the leadership, with the veterans, with the people that have survived to commemorate. And for Northern Guam Rotary to organize this every year is it's a big project, and we're known that, to have this ceremony, and we're very, very grateful that we have participation every year.
So, Joe, you mentioned this earlier that originally in 2000, you
Yeah.
were already going to have a peace monument.
Yeah.
And then when the events of 9/11 2001 took place, then you saw it would be fitting to
Yeah.
then turn this monument in as a tribute to
Yeah.
the lives that were lost in 9/11. So, with regard to this monument, how was it built? Was it done through fundraising? What sort of contributions went into it?
Yeah, it took several years for the Northern Guam Club to raise the funds because it was basically all donations. We were able to get together with different whether it's the architects or the construction companies to really turn this into a memorial. Thanks very much to Two Lovers Point for the property because we built in the center of that island there, and just donations. I remember participating in fundraising through golf tournaments, and other Rotary Club fundraisers in order for us to erect the monument itself, to have the granite shipped in and lay that and installed, And then, we also have tribute tiles or bricks that we lay on the ground that, we have available for purchase that is part of the, Peace Memorial. So, when we, over the many years when we completed it, and then we had a ceremony to, I guess, start off the ceremony. I think it was back in 2011 when we had the ribbon cutting, and then we just had reef ceremonies afterwards, and it has just grown. Because I remember the Rotarians just got together, and then we had one bouquet that was laid on the floor, and then today we see 5 reefs that are displayed on nice stands, and then we have this big ceremony that has 100 people that attend.
Yeah, so certainly it has grown over the years, and as we continue to age and progress, more and more people may not even be may remember the events of 9/11.
Yeah.
You and I had a conversation about how I taught a class at the University of Guam, and when I would ask my students if they remembered it, a lot of times they just sort of glossed over it. It wasn't something that they experienced like the way we did. It was something they read in the textbooks or online. So them being able to relate to it or being aware of what took place and having an appreciation of it, of course, may not necessarily be as strong as what those of us who lived during that time and what we remember. So this monument will serve as a constant reminder to them about how the world changed on that particular day.
Certainly has, because we ask ourselves, right, why does it matter 24 years later? And we know that people, here in the Pacific, people throughout the nation, they were directly affected by it. Whether they were impacted through military service or they had personal loss, it does matter today. And there are lessons of 9/11 and that we're resilient. Not only do we have, Guam and the people of Guam are just resilient because of a lot of the experience that we have with disasters, but we're vigilant, and USA is vigilant, and this is about unity, right? So when you really take a look at the ceremony, it just reminds us of how not only do we want to remember and that we want to honor, but then I think it's also a way for us to teach the next generation, that we need to teach them about peace. We need to teach them about service, and we need to teach them about how our community can be so strong up to today.
Yeah, and those are thoughts that I completely support. Thank you for sharing that, Joe. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how the Rotary Club of Northern Guam wanted to symbolize Guam as a peace island. And then this is an initiative that you do to promote peace and understanding across the globe. So what would it mean for that designation for Guam to have being known as a peace island?
Yeah, it was in 2000 when we, really took it seriously to have Guam designated as a Rotary Peace Island. And that means where we want to focus on peace. We want to focus on, like conflict resolution. Rotary International's focus, one of the focuses to, deal with peace and, conflict resolution. And we want to be able to share that, here in Guam, share that through our Peace Memorial. When you talk to a Rotarian, and there are 5 clubs on the island that are part of Rotary International, and when you talk to a Rotarian and you talk to them about peace, what does that mean to to a Rotarian? And it's about how we get together as a community, we get together as a group, and we work towards encouraging each other to handle ourselves, peacefully, to ensure that we practice what we call the 4-way test. And that 4-way test is about how we, ethically look at ourselves and how we act and behave with others. So when we designate the island as peace, then we embark on different, whether it be events or different projects that promote peace. And Northern Guam definitely is dedicated and committed to that.
All right. Well, Joe, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the monument and then also the Rotary Club of Northern Guam.
All right. Awesome.
Get double the speed at zero extra cost with GTA Fiber. Experience super fast and reliable fiber internet speeds, now starting at 200 Mbps to 1 gig, with upload speeds just as fast as download speeds and 100 times faster than cable internet. You can enjoy lag-free gaming and clear video calls. Fast is also affordable. Sign up for Fiber 200 for only $70 a month. Visit gta.net or call 644-4482. Terms and conditions apply.
Bolt your doors, lock your windows, turn off your lights, and come with me into the Weird Darkness. I'm Darren Marlar, the host of Weird Darkness, every Thursday night from 6 to 8 here on Wave 105.1. Every week on Weird Darkness, you'll hear 2 hours of stories of the paranormal, supernatural, legends, lore, crime, conspiracy, mysterious, macabre, unsolved, and unexplained. Weird Darkness, this Thursday night at 6 on Wave 105.1.
6 o'clock to 8 o'clock every Friday evening. Join Rand and Jenny Kaufman for The Edge of Heaven, a talk show to take you to the fifth dimension where you find out who you are. What is the purpose of your life? How can your purpose be fulfilled? What motivates you to do what you do? What are you searching for? What keeps you going in your day-to-day life? What is real? Why do you care? Why do you work? Why do you love? Sponsored by Burger King, Jay Goodman, and Asmujao Community School.
Think you've got what it takes to win? Tune in every Friday on Wave 105 FM with Patty Arroyo for the Hilton Trivia Challenge. Test your knowledge and you can score dinner for 2 at the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa. It's brought to you by the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa only on Wave 105 FM.
Hafa Adai Guausi Pali Suba. Don't forget to catch The Bright Side every weekday afternoon from 2 to 6 on Wave 105. From big laughs to big issues, if it's happening on island, we're breaking it down with island leaders, business owners, and you. I want to send so much love to our sponsors, Micropack, Local Jerk, GTA, Sherwin-Williams Paint, Chili's, and Subway. Take a break from all of that shade and join the bright side on Wave 105.
Buenas and Hafa Adai, it's Damon Michael, your GDOE PIO. Make sure you tune in every Friday at 10 a.m. for our agency's Educuento series, where we give you the latest and greatest from the Department of Education.
Many companies are moving slow on AI. Thank goodness many employees are moving fast. I'm Jeff Colvin of Fortune Magazine with the Fortune Business Update. Lots of companies have invested money on AI, but in a recent survey from MIT, 95% of them say their corporate investment has so far not improved their profit at all. 0. Fortunately for those companies, however, their employees are moving ahead on their own, and they're not telling their employers about it. They're just using their own personal accounts with ChatGPT or other AI providers, and that is almost certainly improving productivity. As employees become more familiar with personal AI tools that suit their needs, they become less tolerant of their employers' slow-moving official AI projects. It's a striking difference from new technologies of the past, which employees mostly hated. Now they're leading the way. I'm Jeff Colvin.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show.
And welcome back to Cop Talk. I'm Norman Analista, Public Information Officer for the Guam Police Department, and joining me in studio is Mr. Joe Rios, who is with the Rotary Club of Northern Guam. And we were just talking about the Peace Memorial that's coming up in a couple of days and the monument that has been erected there to commemorate the events of 9/11. And there are different elements to it. Of course, there's the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, Pennsylvania, granite centerpiece, and then the Doves of Peace, and a tribute to 9/11 victims. So in it, the monument itself has different elements that people can reflect upon. But Joe, how could people better appreciate and observe the event, or at least commemorating 9/11, when they visit the monument on their own time?
Yeah, when you go up to Two Lovers Point and you drive through, you'll see it on the left side. We have signage, of course, that's there. You'll see the monument, and it offers an opportunity for someone to really reflect and to come to peace. You'll see on the floor, the granite floor has the icons of 9/11, and you'll see on the floor that there are bricks, and we have commemorative tribute tiles or bricks that people have purchased, and that is available for the Rotary Club to, dedicate for any reason. We want to provide that opportunity for anybody, whether you're in the armed forces, whether you're a veteran, whether you're a Rotarian, just somebody who knows family that perished or served in the military. We have these the bricks that we lay on the floor, and we have I think there's about maybe like 75 that's currently on the floor, and we have about another 50 that are on order that we're organizing to get manufactured. And these bricks offer that way. When you look on the floor and you see like the Rotary Club of Guam, or the Rotaractors, or let's peace begins with us, and you see all of these different inscriptions on the bricks, it makes you think. Maybe you can think about and reflect what happened on that day, or you could get pissed off at what happened, and how your relative, or maybe even you, had served on on the different wars because of it. And this could be an outlet. This will be a site for you to go to. It's tangible. We we have the bricks on sale for $150, and you could go to our site, guampeacememorial.com, and it'll give you a much more detailed idea about the monument and the bricks, and then you can fill out a application, not a registration, and payment is also taken on the website, and the funds goes towards scholarships and other projects that will assist Northern Guam Rotary Club to expand, and to have our ceremony, and to upkeep the Peace Memorial. It was damaged in of course Mawar, and we had to fix the twin towers, the concrete there, and the granite, and we have this beautiful wrap that's on the monument today, and it really reflects. And we had the wrap installed in 23, and it's this really nice blue and red representing the USA flag with the stars. And because it's so bright, people now, when they go and visit Two Lovers and they look to the left and see that in the center, they see it. So we want to be able to let everybody know, when for you to visit Two Lovers Point, you have the site there for you to visit, tourist attraction, and then also we have that Peace Memorial that's there in the center that you can visit. And to participate, we ask you to help us project and to support our program. Yeah.
So Joe, obviously this project of the Rotary Club of Northern Guam is very meaningful to a lot of people, meaningful to the community, but it's just one component of the other amazing projects and programs that your organization is involved with. For someone who's not familiar with your Rotary Club, what sort of other objectives do you have?
Sure. Northern Guam is, of course, the Rotary Club of Northern Guam. We're one of 5 clubs on the island, and to be part of Rotary International, it's a worldwide organization. It's a service organization, and I believe it's one of the first service organizations in the world. And we get together as professionals, and as Rotarians, we each club has their mission and has their purpose. And Northern Guam is our Peace Memorial is one. We want to bring back our dictionary project where we distribute dictionaries to the third graders to all the schools, and with Rotary, we are professionals that get together to help out our community, and there's just so much that we can do here. On Guam, we have the Rotary Club of Guam, the Rotary Club of Tumon Bay, the Rotary Club of Northern Guam, the Rotary Club of Guam Sunrise, and the Rotary E Club of Pago Bay, Guam. And these clubs all get together to, help out the community and support the community. The Northern Guam, we not only have the Peace Memorial, we've also supported Harvest House, and we've, also helped out Inafat Malik, because of course they're all about conflict resolution, so we want to be able to support that. We have fundraising events so that we could get the money to support our service projects, and that's what Rotarians are all about. I mean, we had an earlier conversation about at one time we tried to recruit you as a Rotarian, and back then it was very structured. Formatted in a way where, okay, every week you have to attend a Rotary Club meeting. Today, the focus is not on attendance. The focus is more so about, professionals getting together to service the community. What club can, have a project and support the community and help out, grow and strengthen, our community that we live in. For like the Guam Club, right? They have the spelling bee, and then to be a part of the education, because that's what we really stand for. For the Guam Club to have the annual spelling bee and to get the students to compete that way and then send them off to the national competition, it's fantastic, because we're supporting the students, the education. You have the Tumon Bay Club at one point. Did you know that all the roof structures over at the Joseph Flores Moore, the Ipao Beach Park, all those shelters were refurbished, and it's all concrete due to grants that the Rotary Club of Tumon Bay, was able to organize and replace with concrete roofs. For Guam Sunrise to have an environmental event and then work towards having that improved in the island. Then you have the E Club of Pago Bay that's trying to organize, financial literacy, or involving high school students to be part of the four-way test, essay contest. So Rotarians are part of the professional community, using their skills to service and to support a project. It's just fantastic.
Joe, please remind me, what is involved in the four-way test?
The four-way test is really about how we think of, what we say and, what we do. And of course, there's four parts to it. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be, beneficial to all? And when you use that as a mirror, and you use that to, base yourself on how ethical you interact with your community, with your coworkers, with your family, then it becomes that, passion within you to really conduct yourself, and each Rotarian is, I always insist that each Rotarian committed to memory, so that, it's something that's of course, ethical to really go by every day.
Wow. Well, in this hour, which went by really fast, we had the opportunity to reflect on our experiences of 9/11, and then also the memorial ceremony that's coming up in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then also thinking about the mission of the Rotary Club of Northern Guam. And also, thank you for sharing what some of the other projects the other Rotary clubs are known for. Very, very meaningful organizations, and contributions to the island are too numerous to mention. I think it doesn't quite do any justice to put a list, because there's so many contributions all throughout the years too. You mentioned you're going to be celebrating your 50th. Right?
Yeah, we are. Northern Guam is going to celebrate 50 years in November. So of course we're going to have a big gala event, and we're inviting our district. So the Pacific Basin Group, which is all those clubs here in Palau and in Chuuk and Ponape and Saipan. We're a part of this Pacific Basin Group, and we're part of a district out in Tokyo. And so for our 50th, we're inviting the Rotarians to help us celebrate our 50 years. And, of course, Rotary has been around for, more than 120 some years. And then for the clubs in Guam, the Guam Rotary Club was chartered back in 1939. And, so all these other clubs, of course, celebrate their anniversary. And in fact, they celebrated their 86th anniversary. And then we're going to celebrate our 50th anniversary. Yeah. So, it's a big, celebration, because we've grown, we've reduced, we've had challenging times, and we're proud of the Peace Memorial that we've built and the ceremony that we have every year. And we're, as Rotarians, we're just proud that we're able to assist and to support our community to grow and to help out when we can.
I'm thinking about younger generations of Guamanians, Chamorros, and those who are listening to this are probably thinking about, how could my young child get involved? Is there a push to recruit for younger generations of future Rotarians? Oh, you have the Rotaract organization, right? Okay, so how does that work?
Yeah, as Rotarians, of course, we want to be able to increase membership in our club. And we do have Rotaractors. And we have the Rotaract Club of the Marianas that has, membership that really focuses on, college students or students from 18 to, let's say, 30. But you don't have to be 30 to stay in Rotaractors, or even older. You can join the Rotary Club. And then we also have interactors, and interactors are high school students. Oh. And so, so we have the Rotary clubs that, support and interact with the high schools, and then, create the interact clubs for them to learn about, being a Rotarian, to learn about how to organize and support the community. So, we're always wanting to recruit members. And, for any professional, whether you're working in, just any kind of job, or if you're part of a organization that wants to help out, Rotary is a way for you to help out the community. I mean, you can imagine how, if you're passionate about a cause, whether you're passionate about, like we want to be able to, look at diabetes, for example, with our Rotary clubs, and how can we, make an impact. In the past, there's other clubs that have embarked on, health and the environment, right? So when you participate in Rotary and you have this passion to change something, and you have a cause, I mean, be a part of Rotary to help out, the community, because, you get together with friends, you get together with people, and of course you get together, lunch, or, over at happy hour, or, dinner, and then you plan for you to execute a project. I mean, and you're just helping out the island. I mean, it's just a great way to do so. So become a Rotarian, because it is professionals with professionals helping and supporting the island in that cause that you're so passionate about.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, Joe. I'm pretty sure there may be some individuals out there not knowing how to get involved, and I think this is definitely going to help them put a foot in the right direction.
Yeah.
Well, this hour has gone by fast. We're up against time. I want to thank you for being on the show. I want to thank Reese for producing behind the scenes. Thank you, Reese. I'm Norman Analista, PIO for the Guam Police Department. This was Cop Talk. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I'm Larry Magid with the Connect Safely Report. In the latest episode of the podcast, Doing Tech Right, Connect Safely Education Director Carrie Gallagher talks about considerations for getting a child their first phone or tablet.
Really isn't about the device. It's about the structures and parameters and behaviors that the parents craft around it. How are your children able to use it only with your supervision and only for a limited time? Or are they having full access all the time and it really is truly their device that they own? And that's the dynamic that parents need to consider as well.
And of course, it depends not just on the age of the child, but their maturity, whether they're careful enough with devices, and their ability and willingness to understand and follow family usage rules. You'll find a lot more advice from the full podcast at connectsafely.org/radio. With the Connect Safely report, I'm Larry Magid for CBS News.
Many companies are moving slow on AI. Thank goodness many employees are moving fast. I'm Jeff Colvin of Fortune magazine with the Fortune Business Update. Lots of companies have invested money on AI, but in a recent survey from MIT, 95% of them say their corporate investment has so far not improved their profit at all. Zero. Fortunately for those companies, however, their employees are moving ahead on their own, and they're not telling their employers about it. They're just using their own personal accounts with ChatGPT or other AI providers, and that is almost certainly improving productivity. As employees become more familiar with personal AI tools that suit their needs, they become less tolerant of their employers' slow-moving official AI projects. It's a striking difference from new technologies of the past, which employees mostly hated. Now they're leading the way. I'm Jeff Colvin.
KGUM-FM, Dedido. The talk of Guam is Wave 105 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. There has been a flurry of legal rulings today involving the Trump administration, the latest over whether states can sue the administration over the firings of federal workers. Matt Piper reports.
In a 2-1 ruling, the appeals court says states do not have the standing to sue the Trump administration's mass termination of probationary employees. It says they only have standing to challenge the process by which the government has engaged in mass firings. In March, 19 states and Washington, D.C. sued federal agencies alleging the terminations were unlawful and never gave 30 to 60 days advance notice. The court also notes the harm was done to people, not states, none of whom are parties in the suit.
The Chief Justice will allow the president to remove Rebecca Slaughter, a member of the Federal Trade Commission. Lower courts had ordered her reinstatement. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
This order by Chief Justice Roberts is a real signal that the court continues to empower President Trump to have full control over his agencies and those who are in them.
CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez reports the Supreme Court cleared the way for federal agents to conduct sweeping immigration operations in Los Angeles.
The High Court, through this ruling, is suspending a lower court order from July that had prohibited federal immigration officials from conducting what advocates called roving immigration arrests that relied on certain factors such as somebody's race or ethnicity, the fact that they were speaking Spanish or English with an accent.
There was a deadly attack on a bus stop near Jerusalem today, and the Israeli offensive into Gaza City is ramping up, as Linda Gradstein reports.
Speaking at the Air Force Command Center in Tel Aviv, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned the residents of Gaza City to, quote, leave now, hours after Israel said it would ramp up airstrikes on Gaza. He also said that Israeli forces are organizing and preparing for a ground maneuver hours after 2 Palestinian gunmen killed at least 6 people in a terrorist attack in Jerusalem.
Venezuela's deploying 25,000 troops to its coastal states to tackle drug trafficking after the U.S. ordered additional fighter jets to Puerto Rico to carry out operations against drug cartels. CBS's Charlie Daggett reports it isn't entirely clear yet whether this is an attempt by President Maduro to de-escalate tensions.
He emphasized that the operations were strictly going after drug smugglers, avoiding any of the kind of language or rhetoric that we had seen in reference to the U.S. military presence there.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made a surprise visit to Puerto Rico today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan. $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
You need parts? O'Reilly has parts. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select pads for just $10. Or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or Import Direct pads for just $20. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The British band Supertramp says one of its co-founders has died at the age of 81.
Was an early morning yesterday.
Rick Davies added keyboards and soulful vocals to Supertramp, a group that hit it big in 1979. Goodbye Stranger was one of several hits on the album Breakfast in America that soared to #1 in the U.S., won 2 Grammys, and sold more than 18 million copies. Davies had been treated for multiple myeloma, a type of blood cancer, for more than a decade. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
A woman in Australia charged with murdering her estranged husband's relatives with poisoned mushrooms has been sentenced to life in prison. Erin Patterson is expected to serve most of her time in isolation because officials say she could be harmed by other prisoners who followed the case. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
I'm Larry Magid with the Connect Safely report. In the latest episode of the podcast, Doing Tech Right, Connect Safely Education Director Carrie Gallagher talks about considerations for getting a child their first phone or tablet.
It really isn't about the device. It's about the structures and parameters and behaviors that the parents craft around it. How are your children able to use it only with your supervision and only for a limited time? Or are they having full access all the time and it really is truly their device that they own? And that's the dynamic that parents need to consider as well.
And of course, it depends not just on the age of the child, but their maturity, whether they're careful enough with devices, and their ability and willingness to understand and follow family usage rules. You'll find a lot more advice from the full podcast at connectsafely.org/radio. With the Connect Safely report, I'm Larry Magid for CBS News.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show hosts, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Glimpses Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM, the sound of Guam. Enjoy the show. Alrighty, welcome everybody to the show here on Wave 105.1 FM. Coming up, we have our GCC Community Talk Hour here on the show. That's all coming up, and it's being brought to you by our friends over there at BKU Roll. Don't forget to check out our friends at Burger King today. They're taking care of you. And you know what? Can you just please take care of them and vote for them for Pika's Best Burger? You can visit that website today and visit BKU Rule in Hagåtña, Tumon, the Micro Mall, and the airport. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, our GCC Community Talk Hour with our host, Miss Trina St. Augustine.
What is Hafa Adai, and welcome to Wave 105.1 FM. It is 11:06 a.m. Gual Trina St. Augustine. I am a program coordinator at the Office of Communications and Promotions at the Guam Community College, and you've stumbled upon Guam Community College Community Talk Hour. Thank you so much to Glimpses Media for having us here every Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Undankalo na si Zeus Maasi, Glimpses Media. Thank you so much for that. As well to Uncle Rudy over at Burger King.
Iba.
Yay, vote for them. Because they're amazing with their flame grilled Whoppers. I love it.
Yeah.
With cheese. More cheese.
All cheese.
All cheese.
You know what? They need to make all cheese Whopper.
They just do.
Like wrap up the flame grilled beef,
bread, meat,
cheese
on top of the cheese
the
cheese.
You know what? The cheese will be the buns for the buns.
There you go. I'm down.
Period.
I'm down. lining up. We're lining up for that, Uncle Rudy.
That's right. Watch out.
This is, like I said, the Guam Community College Community Talk Hour. At GCC, before we begin any meeting or employee gathering, we recite the college mission statement as a reminder of our commitment to Guam and the region. And it goes like this. The Guam Community College is a leader in career and technical workforce development, providing the highest quality, student-centered education and job training for Micronesia.
GCC Board of Trustees Policy 100.
Thank you very much for participating that too, Ms. Reese. At GCC, we offer over 50 fields of study and prepare students for entry into the workforce or transfer to four-year colleges and universities with advanced standing in professional and technical degree programs. The college offers a variety of special programs to prepare students for college experiences, including adult education, secondary career and technical education in GDOE high schools. We got our boot camps, our apprenticeship programs, and so much more. Here in studio to discuss with me the adult education program is Associate Dean Marisha Cruz Nicholas. She's an Associate Dean with the Office or the School of Trades and Professional Services, and she's handling the adult education portion of the college. And we are so grateful to have her here, and she is going to talk to us about the upcoming Adult Education Week, correct?
Yes, thank you, Trina. Thank you for that kind introduction. Next week is actually going to be the week of celebrating the program, celebrating all the committed individuals who want to help adults obtain their high school diploma, who support students who want to improve on their literacy skills. So it's actually Adult Education and Family Literacy Week.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. All right. So what is the significance of Adult Education Week for our GCC Adult Education program?
So, well, the significance, like I mentioned, it's we're highlighting the program and all it has to offer. So I just visited a couple of classrooms, actually 3 classrooms this morning, just to promote the event and how diligent our team is working to provide services or workshop opportunities for our students so that they're more knowledgeable of applying for FAFSA after they're done with the diploma program, if it's resume building that they want to improve on their skills. So I can go through the week and just highlight what's happening.
Please do so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So on Monday, we're launching a program video, and it's just going to feature our students, our faculty members who teach our students on a daily basis, as well as our team members